Lynn and Michelle here from IDS Seattle chapter. We are starting a new series of interviews, and we thought that we would kick it off with an reintroduction of our board. And so today we're going to introduce to you and talk to JD, who has the Bow Format showroom here in Seattle. And I'm going to scoot out. JD's going to scoot in, and we're going to ask him a few questions. So thanks for joining in. We appreciate it. And we will have some information in the comments and the notes section. So here's JD. Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It is a sunny day in Seattle, and I can't believe that it's almost the end of September. Where did the year go? It was like zoom, completely done. So tell us a little bit about you and what you do here in Seattle.
Okay. Man, I do a lot of stuff. I am the chapter president for IDS Seattle. I am the regional design director for Bow Format here in Seattle, and I'm also an instructor at Heritage School of Interior Design at the Seattle Design Center.
Wow. Okay. So, do you sleep?
Yes, usually between like 3 and 5
a.m. That's it. Oh my goodness. Well, we are here today in JD's showroom down in Belltown in Seattle. This is such a beautiful showroom, and I feel honored to be here in the presence of JD, given his schedule. So we're going to take about 10 or 15 minutes and chat with him. Tell me a little bit, JD, about where did you come from?
Well, I came from Indianapolis, Indiana originally via like a couple of states, but that's where I was born and mostly raised.
Mm-hmm. And have you been in the design field forever, or?
Pretty much. I mean, I had a brief career as a corporate accountant, but even when I was doing that, I still was sort of getting my feet into the design. I've been in design now for 16 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, since you're young. So what brought you to Seattle?
It's kind of funny. My husband and I just sort of picked it. We had gone through like a particularly rough winter in Indiana, and if you're unfamiliar with Indiana, the temperatures can be anywhere from like 110 to -10.
Oh my gosh.
Time of year. And we had one particularly bad winter, and we're like, why are we doing this? We own our own business, like we have pretty much freedom. So we started talking about a dream list of like, well, what would you want if you were going to live somewhere? And snow came on the list as something we didn't want. We didn't want high humidity. We didn't want tarantulas. We didn't want scorpions. And we do live in California. Not that it's not beautiful. It's just not fun. And so it kind of just, the Northwest just sort of stuck out. And we talked about Portland a little bit, and then we saw how moving it was in Seattle. And that sort of just became the decision. We'd never been here. We literally just decided and thought we moved here.
You just got in the car and drove?
Well, he got a job and got put on a plane, and then I stayed behind for 6 months and got the house ready to sell and closed down all the other stuff.
I see.
Everything. But yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Well, we're glad you landed in Seattle.
Me too.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about what made you make the decision to launch IDS Seattle.
So one of my cohorts at Heritage in Portland, Angie Morris, is the former president of the Portland chapter. And we had been spending time together because they were coming up as we were, opening up the Seattle school. And it just sort of kept coming up in conversation, and then she invited me to come down year before last to their Swatch event. And we had a really great time, and sort of in this conversation, it was like, there's a lot of interest in Seattle, but nobody really wants to kind of take the reins and build it. And she just kind of looked at me and she was like, you should totally do it. And I was like, all right, let's do it.
Because you don't have enough on your plate?
Yeah, why not? So we did. And I was very lucky that I knew some really amazing people in the industry, like yourself and Hannah, and that led to other folks that are also a part of it. Kaylee, who ironically is from a town adjacent to my hometown.
Oh, wow.
Small world. And we put together this amazing board and kind of been off to the races ever since.
Yeah, and how's that race looking so far? I hear where there's some good news.
Yeah, I had a conversation with National, and we heard that we were the fastest growing new chapter for them, which is really amazing and really speaks to all the work that the board has put in. Because we really only had 5 or 6 months of this before we kind of were put on pause in terms of, in-person public events.
Yeah.
So for us to still continue to have growth month over month really goes to show all the hard work that goes on behind the scenes.
That's incredible because, it doesn't matter what your business is. This 2020 has been a challenge for anybody, and to be launching a brand new membership-based organization and to have the growth that we've had is just, it's incredible. So thanks to your leadership and, of course, all the board members. All the things that are done behind the scenes, right?
Yes, a lot of behind the scenes.
I wish it was just waving the magic wand. So let's talk design for a second.
Okay.
All right. Do you have a favorite trend or a favorite thing that you'd like to share with us about bow format and kind of what's leading the trends right now, or at least what might be your favorite things?
So I'll start with my favorite things. I'm kind of obsessed with matte black and brass.
It's so
it
sexy.
And when we built the showroom 2 years ago, we did it all matte black kitchen because the matte black fingerprint resistant lacquer had just come out. And I kind of took some heat for it, but because it was sort of like, well, it'd be great to put it in the showroom, but people won't really, maybe not buy it because it's black, but people responded really well to it. It's beautiful. We have brass hardware on it, but we also have brass cabinets that we can do as well.
Ooh.
We really want to take it kind of full circle.
Wow, that's gorgeous. Is that actually metal?
It is. I would hand this to you if it wasn't for distancing, but this puppy weighs quite a bit. It's actual solid brass veneer. It's actually a living finish, so this is about 3 or 4 years worth of patina.
Okay, so you say patina, and this is what it's going to look like on a normal wear. It doesn't get more patinaed than that?
Not really. This is pretty much the extent of it, but it is a living finish, and it also kind of depends on the conditions. So,
like environment?
Temperature, humidity, how much it's touched, where it's touched, it's going to interact with oils. If you were to get something on it, that might contribute to it. Not like it's going to stain, but just like it's going to, have that little reaction.
That's beautiful.
This is one of my favorites. And then what we're starting to see is continuing to see is a lot of wood. This is premium walnut, which is one of my favorites. I love really kind of mid-century stylings.
Yeah.
And then color. Folks have really been allowing us to really play with color, so we've been bringing new colors in. This is our new Marsala color, which came out for 2020.
That's really luscious. I like that.
This is one of my favorites. And then we also do custom, so we can do anything in the REL, so any of those custom colors. We just did a retail store where we actually found a color that matched with their logo. We're able to do the whole storefront in cabinets that were on brand for us.
Oh, awesome. So you're standing in front of this cabinet that's open. Tell me a little bit about that. Look at that light on the inside. How cool is that?
So that's one of my favorite things about what we do is we do a lot of integrated lighting, a lot of integrated technology. The vertical lighting for the interiors of cabinets is one of my favorites because, typically in a lit cabinet you would usually have like glass shelves and would have some sort of lighting in the top area. But the issue is that even with glass shelves, over distance, that light's going to fade. So usually what's going to be on the bottom is not going to be as well lit as the stuff on the top.
True.
With this vertical light, we actually have it on both sides, so what you get instead is cross lighting. So in addition to not getting a fade, you get really even lighting. So you can see when you're looking at these, you've got pretty much the same lighting all the way across.
That's great for your midnight snacking. You don't have to turn the overhead lights on. You just open the door and then, your secret is kept.
Same thing with the shelf. You just have your built-in night lights on your cabinets.
It's gorgeous, really is.
This is our portrait interior, which is, I think, one of our more beautiful interiors. It's just nice. It's a little bit more elegant than just a standard white. And it's an included finish.
Nice. Beautifully done. All right. Next question. Where do you go or how do you find your inspiration?
Well, I think it comes from a lot of places. A lot of times it'll come from travel. We try to go to Germany every year as part of working with Balfour to go to the factory and the factory showroom, and then try to sneak in other little side trips since we're going to be over there. So sometimes it comes from that. A lot of times it'll come from fashion, things that I see in fashion, because obviously those are usually where trends hit first. You start to see interesting colors and patterns put together. What else? Automobiles, especially older cars. Sort of more of those craftsmanship, sort of like a Bentley or something like that, that has really like bespoke leathers and interesting little buckles and different kinds of metals and different kinds of wood patterns, those sorts of things.
Yeah, fun. So I'm curious, can you tell us one thing that we probably don't know about you?
Well, since I've not been in Seattle more than like 5 years, I would say probably nobody here would know that when I was a design student, I was in an episode of Restaurant Impossible that they were filming in Indianapolis. Probably I don't even know, it's been a while.
Yeah, fun.
It was interesting. I don't think I got more than 2 seconds of airtime in the background. Basically, when you volunteer to do that, obviously they bring in their own lead designer to manage the project that works with the station, or works with the Food Network. Anyway, so basically you're just sort of the design lackey. So we were the ones that were getting blisters, pulling staples out of banquettes at 3 o'clock in the morning. Because they really do, it is 24 hours.
Wow.
And you sign up for your shift, and there are people working overnight, and the next day it's done, and they're on to the next one.
Interesting experience. How fun.
Very interesting.
So if people want to get a hold of you here and see the showroom, which is by appointment only, how do they do that?
They can go onto our website at balfourmatseattle.com. They can download catalogs there. They can schedule an appointment in the showroom. They don't have to speak to anybody. They can, of course, call us at 206-486-3590. They can reach out to me. I'm primarily on Instagram at PNW Designer. Yeah, that's I think the best ways.
Great. JD, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you sharing with us a little bit about your business here at Balfour Mat, your connection with IDS, and of course your love of Seattle. And we look forward to hearing more about the things that you do in Seattle and seeing your work in lots of homes. I'm going to come around the other side and say goodbye to our crew here. So thanks for joining us today. We're really excited to offer these videos. We think that this content should be fun for you guys and engaging. If you have any questions for JD or about IDS, go ahead and list them in the comments section, and we'll be sure to engage and get back to you. We encourage you to consider IDS. If you're not a member, we would love to have you. We have lots of fun, exciting things coming down the pipeline for 2021. So thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you next time.